Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Plantone. I'm new to this role, joined in about January. Basically, since COVID, everything has been more digital in the classroom. But this is something that we were using way before COVID. This is Canvas. This is your LMS or learning management system. And this is where you're going to be going for your courses to complete some assignments and some quizzes. So thank you for joining us. There will be this will be recorded. This will be sent out to you hopefully in the next day or two, because there's going to be a lot of information that we're going to cover. So let's get started. So logging into Canvas, you're always going to need your Purple Pass. So that's your S and 7 digits and your Purple Pass password. The best way to do that is going through MyNU, which is using the same S and 7 digits and password. So when you click on that canvas, it should sign you in, but it also might send you to the single sign-on, which you'll have to do the S 7 digits at niagara.edu, but it'll be the same password anyways. I recommend bookmarking that page that's hitting the star. That way, this is going to be a website you're going to frequently come back to. All right, so we're going to break this up into two sections. We're going to go over the global navigation. So that's like everything that you can do in Canvas in terms of looking at your courses and your messages and all that stuff. So we'll cover that first. And the second part is specifics to the course, maybe your grades or your assignments or your quizzes. So first in global navigation, when you sign into Canvas, you're gonna start in the dashboard. So the dashboard is your courses that you're taking, and there's actually this really nice to-do list on the right-hand side. So that's telling you, hey, these are things that are upcoming that you'll have to complete. There's some more coming up that are due a little bit later, and then you can also see some upcoming grades as well. Upgraded, you can see some recent graded materials. So you can see some different icons and different assignments that have popped up. So if we go all the way to the left with the one with a little rocket, that's actually a quiz. If we look to the one in the middle with that says turn in chapter 12 discussion, you guessed it, it's a discussion. So you're going to communicate maybe with the professor or other peers. And then this last one, we're going to focus on a little bit more. It's a final, and it's a final paper, and it has a little paper with a pencil in it. So let's break down what's all in there. So it has a BWC 100. So that's the course. So you can see on the left-hand side of the dashboard, the BWC 100, that's basic written communications class. So that's just telling you what class it's from. You can see that it's worth 50 points. And then this is the due date right next to it, which is November 12th and due at midnight. All right, so from dashboards, I've now moved on to courses. So if you click on courses, it shows your starred courses, but you can look at all courses. So if you click on that, this is going to show all of your courses that you've been taking throughout as a Niagara University student. And what you can do is you can favorite it. So you can hit that little star and it will be pinned to your dashboard, which is nice. So in case there is an old class that keeps popping up, you can always hit the three dots and you can unfavorite it. So you can also change the color and picture if you want to do that as well. All right, keep moving down. We have groups. So groups are something you might interact with in a course. This is your professor dividing you up into maybe specific study partners or project partners. And then this is actually a space where you can communicate with one another. So it might be for history class, literature, and you guys even have your own little, it's almost like a mini course. Like you're able to communicate, upload files, have discussions, all that kind of stuff. Keep moving down. Calendar is a nice function. This is going to show what's due and what's done in your schedule. So anything that you've completed, it's going to be crossed off. You can still see it has the little icon. So the paper and pencil, that's an assignment. It looks like they completed a quiz on the 13th. And you can even filter it out between classes. Maybe you want to even, save a chunk of time to study. You can even hit the plus near the week month agenda, and you can actually make your own events on your calendar. So I'm looking at the month schedule. I feel like that's the one that is the most helpful. But you can also look at the week schedule, or the agenda is kind of like a laundry list, kind of just bullet points. You can also look to future months and even just move it to today. All right, inbox. This may be a way that your professors might reach out to you. They might reach out to the whole class this way, or maybe they'll just reach out to you 1v1 to ask you a specific question on the course. Or maybe this is a way that you reach out to them if you had a specific question. So this is asking, a student is asking, when is the office hours? I'm sure they could look in the syllabus, but the professor is just saying, they're listing the course calendar, and you can reserve an appointment then. What's also nice about the inbox is it's very easy to find people in terms of people that you're taking class with. So say you're in History 101 and you want to message Jessica. So you just type in Jessica, and because they know that Jessica is also taking the same course as you, she'll pop up for you. So you can message her. Or maybe you're like, man, okay, I know it's this student in History 101. I keep forgetting her name. You can actually hit the little, it looks like a contacts with like a little book. You can click that and you can click on students. So then you'll be like, oh, let me see the students in the class. Oh yeah, I meant to talk to Jessica. And then you can find her there. There's history. We're not talking about like world or US history. We're talking about the history in Canvas. So think of this: if you're trying to find your breadcrumbs, you're like, oh yeah, I was in this assignment that I had to make up a couple weeks ago. I forgot which one that was. You can click on history and it saves your last 50-page interactions. So if you click an assignment, it saves it as like a little breadcrumb, and you can look back at it, meaning you can go back to that page. And this is just a blurb just saying that, yes, some student organizations will actually be housed in Canvas as non-academic courses. So you might see that as well. There's also some help. So you can click the help button at the bottom. There's plenty of guides and resources. There's some really great student videos if you're more of a visual learner, but they've got a little bit of everything if you're really confused. So there's a lot that you can dive into. You can also reach out to me. I teach students how to use technology on campus, especially ones that are involved with their coursework. So if you're like, man, I don't know why this assignment, I can't upload it, or I'm not understanding what I have to do for this quiz, you can come find me. I'm on the third floor of the academic complex, and we'll figure it out together. All right, so I started dashboard because that's when you sign in, that's where you're at. And I moved down. I saved the count for last because there's a lot you can do in there. So if we go to settings, you can change your profile picture. I highly recommend you do that. It makes it a little bit more personable between you and your classmates and your professor. You can also add other contact types. I highly recommend you get the app, whether it be for iPhone or for Android. It's not the best to do coursework on, but it is very helpful in terms of when grades get submitted, when you need to see when an assignment is due really quick. That's the best way to look it up, instead of saying, I guess I'll see it when I log in on my laptop. No, everyone's pretty mobile these days. Now you can just look it up on the app. And then within account, there's notifications. So I understand that you guys might be bogged down with notifications. You don't want to see every little thing, every little change that happens. Well, you can change what you see. And actually, you can change what you get via email and what you get via push notification. Maybe you're someone who always sees the push notifications on their phone, so you want that to happen to you more often. Maybe you just want a weekly response to your email. You can also change for specific classes. Maybe you know that biology is going to be a really tough course for you. So you want to make sure if there's any change in there, you want to make sure you get everything. Or maybe you want none of that class. That professor says way too much, and you can turn the notifications off. And then this is a little GIF just to show you how customizable notifications really is. You can turn on or turn off basically anything that happens in the course. You may see that there's little calendars, little bells. I have a little guide over here. The bell means notify immediately. You might want a daily summary instead, or a weekly summary, or you just want to turn it off altogether. But it's definitely take some time when you are in your course and you see how often you're getting notified, just kind of be like, oh yeah, I can always go in settings, I can go to notifications, and I can change how I receive it and when I receive it. And then always remember to log out, especially if you're on a public computer, say at the library. You don't want anyone else going into your account. All right, so that's global navigation in a nutshell. Do we have any questions before we move forward? I'm not seeing anything.
Also, if anybody has any questions and they don't want to turn their microphone on, you could feel free to type your questions out in the chat, and we'll get to them as soon as we see them or at the end of the presentation here.
Yes. So, yep, if you don't feel comfortable unmuting your mic, you can always do the chat. It might even be a question that everyone's wondering. All right. But I'll continue. We'll have more time for questions. All right. So now we're getting to course-specific content. So now we're going to courses. We're clicking on a specific course. We're clicking on, in this case, History 101. You're going to see recent announcements, maybe even a homepage, maybe some modules, and what's maybe to do soon, recent feedback, all that good stuff. So it may be hidden, but you can always click on those 3 lines, and that's going to show you your course navigation. Think of that as all the tabs in the book. That way you know what your grades are, assignments, all that stuff. Now, I'm going to go over all the different features of course navigation, but there's no guarantee that all of these will be available to you in every course. Some professors, they don't like to have grades visible. Some don't have online quizzes, so they'll just turn that completely off. So what I'm introducing to you is everything that's available in Canvas, but doesn't mean it will be available to you for every course. It's up to your professor's discretion. All right, so syllabus. This is something that most professors utilize. So they're going to either upload their syllabus, or they might copy their syllabus and just paste it here, or they might do both in this case. Also on this page, you can find out their grading schemes as well as you can find their grading schemes as well as assignments and when they're due. Syllabus, a syllabus is different in college than it is in high school. This is really your guidebook on what is expected of you of the course. You think of it like a contract between you and the professor. You should know when their office hours are. You should know what's expected of you in terms of assignments and tests, and how you should be prepared for course. So we have a VSJ course incoming that will kind of help you break down what a syllabus is and how to navigate it. But just know the syllabus for each course is very, very important. All right, modules. If a professor sets up a course well, they're going to have modules, which are, think of them like chapters. They're going to divide the course into separate topics. And in this case, you have some like a welcome, a syllabus, you have some resources, and then the course starts with week 1. And even this is nice, even has the dates of when that course is. So a lot of professors will do that. They'll say week 1, week 2, week 3. It's all the materials, all the assignments that you need week by week. Again, not a guarantee for all courses. So if we click on course syllabus, it would show you a syllabus. Kind of, I was breaking apart in the last one, but it will show you what's expected of you for the course. You can go to resources. One of them is the library, which is more than just books. They can help you cite information. You can actually rent equipment through them. So I highly recommend looking to see what the library has to offer. And then, like I mentioned, week 1, they might have like an introduction slideshow, maybe a little assignment to get to know each other. And it'll be like that for every week. So if the modules are set up, definitely take a look. It will definitely give you a great visual on how the course is going to go. And then underneath, it has when it's due, as well as how many points it's worth. And it actually took you to an external tool. Some textbooks, they have online components. So if you buy the textbook, you get the online version and an assignment that goes with it. All right, announcements. Some professors use announcements more than others. But in this case, this professor was using it to say, hey, you have your essay grades are out. You have a final exam date change, essay deadline extension. So some professors use it more than others, but I definitely recommend checking it frequently, making sure those notifications are on, because you never know when something important might show up. You can always click on it for more details. You can like it. You can even reply to it if your professor allows you. We have people. So if people are turned on, you can see other individuals in the course, whether they be students or maybe they are, TA or professors. It's just a good way to find other individuals and communicate with them. All right, here we have assignments. So the first one, chapter 1 discussion, we know it's a discussion, not only because it says it's a discussion, but because it has those little speech bubbles. The next one, safety and science, that's an assignment. We know that because this is a paper and pencil. And then the one with the little rocket, that says survey. It can also be used as a quiz. So I'm looking at the one that says safety and science. I can see that it's due August 31st, 2019, and it's due at midnight. And I haven't turned it in yet because I can see it's a dash 25 points. Once I turn that in, it will, say how many points I received based on what my professor gave me. Some assignments will say available until, so there'll be, a real due date on whether you can, in this case, add to the discussion, because they don't want people adding, replying afterwards. And then there's also a graded assignment. So in past assignments, you can see it was due on March 8th, and I got 20 out of 20, sorry, on that assignment. Another one that's not here is unavailable. So some professors might make a quiz unavailable until a certain date because they don't want you to take it. They don't want you to get too far ahead. So they make it unavailable until you complete the whole unit. This is what a assignment looks like if I were to click on it. So this is the bio travel guide. I have to make a brochure or a video. It's telling me when it's due, how many points it's worth, even telling me how I can submit the assignment. There's a little rubric attached, but always look for that big blue box that says start assignment. That's how you can dive in. All right. Next, we have quizzes. So again, the rocket kind of says this is an assessment. So if you click on that, it will give you when it's due, points, questions, available until, and if there's a time limit. So you just hit take the quiz, give you some instructions, and some professors allow you to navigate. Like you can go to question 3, then go back to question 2. Or they have to say, no, you have to finish question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that order. So you may see some differences in terms of how the question is laid out. If it's a timed quiz, it will let you know that there's 5 minutes left. And then there's even your professor can have multiple assignments. Multiple attempts. So that means they might take the better of the two or an average of the two in terms if it was a really tough quiz or if it's just like something they want to try out with you. You can always take the quiz again, and it will come up with this blue box if you're given that opportunity. All right, discussions. So this is, many different discussions that are happening in this course. But if you click on one, it'll be the professor kind of giving the prompt, and then you can hit the reply button and reply to the professor, or if it's a student, you can reply to another student. Depending on the assignment, the professor might say, okay, you can't see any other replies until you've replied, and there might even be a mandate of how many people you replied to in order to get a grade. All right, collaborations. This one's not as frequently used, but it is nice when it's when you're working on a project. So your professor might want you to collaborate with other individuals in the course. So they might say, okay, you guys are going to work on this final test review. You guys are going to create a presentation, and they're going to put you in a Google Doc, a slideshow, or in Google Sheets. And that way you guys all have access together, and it's readily viewable by you and your professor. Grades. Grades is something very important that you probably want to keep up on. It will even tell you if assignment that you turned in was late and you got deducted for it. If there is a comment, it will come up with like a little speech bubble right there. You can filter it by course, by due date. You can even print it out. Depending the assignment, you can look up the average, the high, the low of the course. And then depending on your professor, they may have certain categories. So it's a weighted course. So they might have, in this case, they had assignments worth 30%, discussions worth 30, quizzes worth 10. So yeah, you might have got a 9 out of 10 on the quiz, but that's actually a decent part of your grade. And this is something that a lot of students don't know, is you see this total for the course. So it looks like you're failing. You have a 49.34. Your parents are freaking out. But some professors will automatically have zeros for every assignment until it's turned in. So all you have to do is calculate based on only graded assessments, and then it's going to turn into its actual grade. Some people might do it the other way around, where you might only have one assignment turned in, and instead of the 10 that are due, and you might be like, well, I have 94 in the grade. I did amazing because of that one assignment. But then if you click on that, it will actually show you what your total grade is. So definitely click that calculate based on only graded assignments to really see your true grade on the course. And this one, it actually factors in the groups and the weights that it is attributed to. Lastly, we have Zoom LTI. So whether you are part of an online or a hybrid class, you might frequently be coming here to join for class, but some professors also host Zoom meetings in terms of office hours or general review sessions. And a lot of professors will do this authenticated users can join the meeting. That means that you have to have a Niagara University email enabled to join. So if you're having trouble, you may have to sign out of Zoom and sign back in using your desktop application, because it's possible that you are using your personal Zoom account, and obviously if you're using your your Yahoo email, then it's not going to let you get in if it's only authenticated users. So make sure you're signed in with your @mail.niagara.edu account. That way you'll be joined into the course. Not all professors do that. Some do waiting room, some do passcode, but it just might be something you run into. And some of them might even record their course. by their sessions each week, and that's actually where you can view it and maybe see what you missed, or if you wanted to review the notes because it went by way too fast, you can go there and see what happened last class. All right. Any questions on Canvas before we move forward? I know it was a lot. Chat or unmuting, either works. But if there's no questions, I'll move on to a student view in Canvas. So you guys get to see what it looks like. So I'm gonna exit out of here. I favorited the dashboard for Canvas, so I'm just gonna click this. It's gonna ask me to sign in, S and 7 digits at niagara.edu. And then here's my dashboard. So it looks like I have some assignments to do, as it shows up on my right-hand side and when they're due. It looks like I have some recent feedback on my assignments, and I can even view my grades. So I'm just going to click on this discussion right here. So it looks like there was a new discussion opened. I can go to grades. It says I have a notification there. All right, so my founding presidents quiz, I got an 8 out of 10. And then it looks like my professor commented right here. So the one comment, all right, they thought I did a fantastic job. So what I was talking about earlier is right now I have an 85 in the course based off of the 2 assignments that I turned in. But let's say this is all I did for the whole course and I turned this off, I only have a 4.16 out of the course. That means all the other assignments are zeros. It's only 4%, then that's not passing. If there's weights, they're going to show up here in grades.
Hey, Chris, just to interrupt you, it looks like in the
Yes.
chat, the screen might be frozen. They might still be on the slides. Is it on the right screen?
Let me see. How about now?
Okay, I think it looks good. Could somebody say if it looks good to them? Okay.
All right.
All right,
awesome.
I think we're all set.
All right, so I'll just start from grades then.
Okay.
So grades, it comes up with like a little blue notification to say what score I got. If it has a comment as a little speech bubble, professor thought I did a fantastic job. Now, those are the only 2 assignments I've turned in. So right now I have an 85 in the course, but let's say this is the end of the year. I've turned nothing else in. I really, truly don't have an 85. If I do this, all the rest of them are zeros. I really only have a 4% in the course. So it's key that you play around with this button to know what your grade is. You can actually even test out different assignments. So let's say, okay, I got an 8 on this quiz, but if I really tried harder, because I should try this one again, what would I get if I got 10 out of 10? And it would actually change my grade here. So I actually bumped up a whole letter grade, tells you it's not official, and I can revert it back to the actual score. But this is a good way to visualize if I, really have to do that assignment or how well I have to do in the final. You can just click on the little dash or click on the score given to you. You can enter it in, and it will tell you how much you would have in the course. All right, so let's start home. This is based off of the new Canvas templates that were given to NU professors. So you might see some of your courses looking similar to this. So I thought I'd use it as well. Let's see if there's any announcements. So this is an announcement by my professor. Excited for the first day of school. And this one's, it's a professor telling me to please bring a mobile device to class. If I go to syllabus, I can download the syllabus here. It also has all of the assignments and when they're due. It even has the office hours available. We'll look at that in a second. I should say this is a fake course that I made. If you really want to take this America Through the Presence course, maybe, you know, tell your history professors and maybe they'll make it in the future. But here we have course documents. We have the syllabus, overview, resources, something you might see in every course. And then this course is split up, it looks like, by president. So this one, we know it's an assignment. So we can click on this one. It says based on the reading, including module 1. So it's not here. You might see that. This is a link. It will take you to a different page. You can open it. And this is the reading that I have to work with. So you might see some professors link it like that. Some might do it in the assignment. All right. So this one, most important precedent on his presidency, at least 500 words. So let's do start assignment. Here, this assignment, I have to do a text box. So I have some, you know, it's like a normal, hello, I believe that you can bold certain things, you can change the fonts, change the color. You don't really have to mess with many of those. You can add images. You might have to add a document if you want to change where the picture is, where the text is aligned. If you want to change bullets, there's a lot you can do in the text box. When you're done, you can hit submit assignments. Does like a little congratulations for you, says when it's submitted. Your professor can leave comments. You can leave comments. If available, you can leave a new attempt if you really thought you did a poor job or want to try for a better grade. So I'm going to go back through modules. This next one, election of 1800. So this one, the reading's right in here. The question is, what made the election of 1800 so controversial? And this one, I would have to upload a Word doc. So I would do start assignment. I would upload file, choose file, and then I would choose something off my desktop, off my computer. And then I would just do submit assignment. This one, the Trouble New Territory. This one, you have to do a 1-minute recording. So you don't need any fancy system here. You can just do start, and then you can actually record right in Canvas. It's probably not going to work because I'm doing Zoom right now. But you can also upload media as well in case you prefer to rather do iMovie or any other recording system that you prefer. You can also look at assignments. You can see that it's 30% of your total grade. There's class participation attendance, assessments, 30% total grade, and presentation. So I have this divided up by show by type. You can also do show by date. So I'm in assignments. You can filter between the two by date and type. Quizzes will take you directly to any assignment that you need to work on. I'm sorry, assessment you need to work on. So let's look at this founding presidents quiz. So I've already taken it once. I can try to take it again. So I can do take the quiz again. It's not going to tell me what I did right or wrong. These are just simple multiple choice questions. This is a fill in the blank. True or false. Another fill in the blank. So this one, it's a drop down box. And then this is a text box you would fill in. So this one, it says available. It's available until November 2nd. That's when it's due. I can click on this. And it looks like I already attempted it. So I'm just waiting my professor to grade. You'll even have some professors who do this. We're getting more and more away from this, but you can see there's these two videos, not really sure on what your assignment is. So you kind of have to read, through the lines. So the question is in the header: how did Lincoln's assassination change the way we view presidents? What are the details? We have to submit it by October 3rd. It's worth 5 points, and it's a text entry box. So if I hit start assignment, I would have to answer that question. So professors are better about this nowadays. They know how to word and how to phrase an assignment, how to build it correctly, but you'll still see some that are not very tech savvy that just have the question right in the assignment title. This one's a civil simulation. You don't do anything for this. It's graded, but there's no due date. You don't have to submit anything. So you'll see them. So you'll see some of those sometimes. In-person midterm, obviously there's going to be nothing that you're going to submit because you're going to take it in class.
And just to answer a question from the chat box,
Yes.
one of the students asked, are assignments timed?
No, assignments, you might have one that's due at 11:59, and it might be closed at 11:59, but it's not like if you have it open for half an hour, it will close. There's no assignment, time limit on that. So you can take however you like. You might have some presentations. You might have some discussions. And then, so like right here, it says replies are only visible to those who have posted at least one reply. So that means I can't see what other people have said until I reply myself. All right. There's some that where you might have to collaborate with one another. This one is you can see there's this Purosol. So this is actually an external tool that my professor wants me to use for the course. This is something that's more used in like for liberal arts for like a history class. But it will open up a new window for you. So you click on this and it will take you to your assignment. So you might have some things that are outside of Canvas, but that are linked to Canvas. And then we have a final exam at the bottom. If we go to Zoom LTI, these are the office hours for the professor. You can see that there's no people. I can't see other people in the course. That's something the professor has turned off. I can also go to my calendar as a way to see what assignments are upcoming, ones I've already completed. All right. This is Canvas in a nutshell from the student side. Do you guys have any specific questions?
All right, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat box. But as Chris and I said earlier, this is recorded. Oh, it looks like,
Oh,
oh, students are just noticing the Canvas calendar linked to Google Calendar. Will this be shown again in detail in new student orientation, Chris?
this will not, but this will actually go on YouTube.
Okay, perfect.
And no, it actually won't link to Google Calendar, but if you get the Canvas app, it will act like almost like Google Calendar. Will tell you, hey, there's an upcoming event. Hey, you have class upcoming in 10 minutes. So I would recommend doing that. So yeah, this should be on YouTube next day or two. Should get an email. But I know it was a lot of content. You might not have a discussion until your second semester, but just want to show you all the tools, all the things you may see in Canvas.
But also at new student orientation, there will be people from the information technology office, like Chris, if he's not there himself, who could answer any questions that you guys might have about this content or about using Canvas in the future. And also, as Chris said before, his office is the third floor of the academic building. So you guys could stop by at any time you have any questions or need any help.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be there at new student orientation or even the first week of school. I'll be in Japan on my honeymoon, but you can more than sure come visit me on the third floor after I come back Labor Day weekend. Any questions you have on your assignments, quizzes, stuff like that in Canvas. Maybe it's even self-service, who knows? You can come visit me on the third floor.
All right, thank you guys so much for attending.